Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are currently in Ul'dah here with the Lemures to continue our Reaper job quests. On the hunt. Ah, there you are, looking deadly enough with that scythe to make me weak at the knees. I wish it's time we stopped faffing about and made ready to hunt our targets. My Lemures have been hard at work, scraping together what information they can. Let's see what they've got. Everyone here? Good. Andres, you've met. No further Chimera-related incidents you'll be happy to hear? The overly chipper Lass over there is Herman. Make your acquaintance. As you know, our quarry is a voidsent, and he goes by the name Orcus. He's eluded the best, but these two are a step above that. Tell us what you found. By your will, boss. I ask around about unsolved murders and disappearances, seeing if any involved someone matching the description you provided. There's as many missing people as there are grains of sand, and no shortage of tragedies either. One, however, stood out among the rest. A woodcutter in the Black Shroud disappeared without a trace. No body, no belongings, nothing. An odd enough occurrence by itself, but the sightings of a stranger with skin pale as snow near his last known whereabouts piqued our interest. Now that's a promising start, but those woods are crawling with bandits and brigands of all sorts. Duskwights and keepers are said to come in ghostly hues. Are we sure this man ain't one of them? As sure as I've ever been, boss. Not many bandits have eyes the color of blood. It's a match too close to ignore. I can't gainsay that we have a lead. If I may, boss, are you sure we need the help of this outsider? How much trouble could one voidsent be? Amen. She's standing right there, for God's sakes. No, she's right. I've always told you to turn her very eye to those outside the family. She's doing her due diligence. But trust me when I say, we need every advantage we can afford. I made the mistake of misjudging Orcus' strength before, and for my hubris, my family, my flesh and blood family was slain. All of them. Was planning on holding that back a bit longer, but it was before the Lemures. I swore two things. I'd repay that suffering 1,000-fold, and I'd never let that bastard take anything from me again. I mean to keep my vow, and I trust I can count on you to help. You don't have to ask twice, boss. Your wounds are our wounds, even the ones that become scars. We'll see your vengeance wrought. All these years I've scraped to make a place for us. I looked forward to the day he'd pay his dues. And it ain't just for me that we have to hunt him down either. He's a blight on Eorzea itself, and the longer we let it fester, the more suffering it'll spread. We need to corner him now, while we have a chance. Are you ready this way? You know those woods as well as any of us, and we need your experience if we hope to be back before supper. Alright. Much appreciated. Alright, let's get to it then. Herman, I want you here in Ul'dah, keeping your ear to the ground for any news of Orcus' movements. Andres, you lead us to where this woodcutter disappeared. By your will, boss. That would be the central shroud, so our best course would be to set off from Bent Branch Meadows. Not all of us can be reapers, but not for lack of bloodlust. If I had the knack, we'd have Orcus' head on the wall by now. I hope you appreciate the significance of what the boss shared with you. Most Guardians don't even know the reapers exist. They don't have the honor to call themselves one. Orcus is an accursed name, feared from Garlemald to Alamigo. I hear tell the people of Giabania bestowed it on a fiend that feasts on the bones of man. So much as to reek of evil incarnate. Good, you made it. Before we set off, allow me to share the circumstances of our poor woodcutter's disappearance. As I heard it, he disappeared nigh on a week ago. Got lost, some surmise, but he was a seasoned woodsman, not some highborn traveler who forgot to buy a map. I questioned those closest to him, and none could think of a reason he might want to make himself scarce. He'd even made plans to meet with friends not long from now, but I expect that promise will go unkept. It sounds like I can rule out a voluntary departure. I believe we can. The last person to see the man alive said he took his axe and ventured northwest. Then that's where we set our trap. Here, Desiree, take these. A Magitech transceiver and candle that scented like a voidsent's favorite libation. Blood. Once it's lit and the fumes are wafting through the air, every voidsent within 30 yards will come running. If either of us sees Orcus, let's give the other a shout over the transceiver. As I said before, Orcus is inhabiting the body of a man, and he can put on an awfully convincing performance when needs must. Don't give him a chance to work his wilds, or his fangs will be in your neck before you know it. As much as I want to accompany you, I'd be a liability in a fight. Whether you find Orcus or not, return here and I report back to the Lemures. Good luck and good hunting. Well, this close to Hawkey Manor, we might find a few voids, but if we find the one we want... The stench of blood chokes the air, filling your nostrils with its metallic aroma. Drawn by the maleficent odor, a voidsent rises from the underbrush. Though it bears no resemblance to Orcus, it eyes you with a voracious hunger. I'm glad to see you in one piece. Now, what's that you have in your hand? A ring. You said a voidsent was carrying this. That ring. Where did you find it? A voidsent was carrying it, but it didn't look like you described, so... I see. Then there can be no doubt. The voidsent that Desiree slew was the very same one that murdered our woodcutter. Murdered? Are you saying... Aye, while I was searching for a place to set my trap, I spotted a shallow grave, hastily dug and poorly hidden. Under a thin layer of dirt was a body matching the description of a woodcutter. A wholly nondescript fellow, save for the mark of a ring removed from his finger. Doubtless that ring was his demise. Shiny baubles are a common fixation for voidsent. Probably didn't spare a thought for the owner, only the price. I suppose we can take comfort in the knowledge that it'll harm no one else. Orcus or not, I'd say this expedition was a success after a fashion. I should have prized for way less of what transpired. You two catch some well-earned rest. Thank you kindly, Arnegus. Well then, I see you back at headquarters. And where I thought this was finally over, when Arnegus had the lead, we are usually toasting or kill the day after, but these are exceptional circumstances. Maybe we didn't get the satisfaction I promised, but sitting here with our heads in our hands won't do us any good. Let's be happy with one less voidsent preying on helpless woodcutters. Orcus will pay for what he did. Glad to see a passion for our mission. Apologies we couldn't make our first outing more memorable. We were on the cusp of ending 2 decades of misery. That's how long ago Orcus came into this world, raging like an animal free from his cage, and leaving my family dead in his wake. The grief he's caused since then is immeasurable. No matter where his accursed feet take him, his hunger follows and the realm bleeds to sate it. Of course, we aren't the only ones hunting him, but he's as clever as he's vicious. Not even the finest trackers have been able to keep on his trail for long. Don't lose heart yet, boss. While you were away, I was making the rounds, and I might have found something that'll soon bear fruit. Arnegus is following up on it as we speak. I swear, someday that man is going to keel over on my account. Still, there's no one else I trust to tell me the difference between truth and hysteria. That being said, his word takes time to do right. Use this chance to own your skills, and if all goes to plan, next time we speak, you will have a golden opportunity to test them. No word yet from Arnegus, Desiree. I've always admired his thoroughness. Me, I don't have a patience for that sort of work. That's why he's the brains and I'm the muscle. Dark days. Apologies, Desiree, but we're still waiting on Arnegus to come through. There's not much for you to do around here until then, unless you have a knack for cleaning. Herman is good at wheedling out promising stories and whatnot, but getting to the truth of our stories is a craft as delicate as weaving. I'm sure you've seen firsthand how one bad bit of information can lead to elaborate plans coming apart at the seams. Boss! Calm down, lad. Breathe. What's gotten into you? It's Arnegus. He's been murdered. What? Tell me I heard was wrong. I'm afraid not. The breastplates found him half buried in the sands not belts ago. Just lying there like some bloody animal carcass. They're bringing him to Eralik's burial chamber as we speak. Whoever did this doesn't know the reckoning they've got coming. Before I'm done with them, they'll be begging to crawl back into their mother's womb. I want justice as much as you. I mean, I do. But it's times like these we need to look to the boss for guidance. As you can see, Desiree, emotions are running high. I should stay here until Herman cools off. Can you let the boss know we're standing by and waiting for our command? Like as not, she's gone to pay her respects. Thaumaturgy skills, I think, closest? Yeah. Sorry, Desiree. I ain't in the mood for chit-chat. There's a bloody keeper. My lady, prithee, the dead must be led to rest. The dead are going to have one more among them if you don't shut your trap and listen. My brass plates brought in a body not long ago. Show me to it. Ah yes, that they did. But are you the deceased's family? If not, I'm afraid we cannot. Family? Family? Arnegis was like a son to me. Like a son. Ordinarily, that would be... He's interred in the innermost coffin. However, I must advise you not to gaze upon the body. But if she insists, then so be it. God damn it, Arnegis, I told you not to go and get yourself... Don't, Desiree. This isn't for you. I'm sorry for barging in here and for all the bluster. If you can forgive my rudeness, promise me that Arnegis gets sent off well and proper. Of course he shall be. However, if you wish to inter him within the city gates, well, such sought after space comes at no small expense. I don't care what it costs, just send your man to Lemure headquarters to collect what you require. Desiree, I appreciate you coming to find me, but there's someone else I have to speak with first. I'm heading to Stone's Throw. Come along if you please. But come along in silence. This is where Arnegis' dear wife earns her living. Best get this over with. Arnegis never forgot the debt he owed you. The debt we both owed you. Even so, his loyalty went even deeper than that. It's a strange thing to look back on the people we were. A decade younger and a lifetime more foolish. Young lovers, proud patriot, blissfully ignorant, returning to Locus Aminus, the cradle of our people. A triumphant homecoming for the Gallians after centuries in exile. The once mighty invaders had been laid low and driven back whence they came, and it was a banner day when Arnegis was honored for a post there. The honor and pride quickly faded when we saw the truth of Locus Aminus. We hadn't just defeated our enemies, we had clapped them in irons and condemned them to a life of servitude. The descendants of those who'd driven our ancestors north so many generations ago, made to pay for the crimes of their forebears. His superiors were certainly pleased with the poetry of it all. Arnegus, however, could not simply look away from their suffering, let alone take pleasure in it. Confronted with the reality of a place we would call home, his conscience demanded he take action. He began cooperating with the resistance, but the eyes of a frumentarium are all-seeing, and before long he was ousted as a sympathizer. It was only by the grace of good fortune that we escaped with our lives. I've often lain awake at night, wondering if he had outlived his usefulness to the resistance. Or perhaps it was a petty senior officer that orchestrated our fall. Regardless of the course, the outcome was the same. We could never return to the Empire. We fled to Eorzea by way of Azatan, the only route open to us. It wasn't soon after stepping foot on the docks of Limsalominsa that your luck ran out, as I recall. Stopped by Yellowjackets and accused of being Imperial spies. Aye, but we still managed to make an escape. We ran and ran, terrified that our pursuers would one day catch up to us. That is, until we met you. Had you not taken us under your wing when you did, I shudder to imagine our fate. Your gratitude's the last thing I deserve, lass. If I hadn't sent Arnegus off on my damned fool's errand, he'd still be alive. It was Orcus that killed him, and no mistake. He died for my vengeance. I can't tell you how sorry I am. No, you needn't apologize. I know he was happy. So long as he was helping you, he was happy. The blame for his death doesn't rest on your shoulders. It rests on the man, the monster that murdered him in cold blood. And I expect you to see he answers for this crime. For me, and for Arnegus. I will, lass, I will. On this I swear everything that I have to swear. Thank you. We need to talk this way. Somewhere with fewer prying eyes. Come meet me at the bridge to the north. I owe you an apology, Desiree, for not telling you everything about me and Orcus from the start. I dragged you into a fight against a foe that's cunning, brutal, and utterly merciless. I thought with all of us together, we'd tip the scales in our favor. But I was wrong, and Arnegus paid the price for my hubris. That voidsent we tracked in my black shroud was likely one of Orcus's minions, but I was too caught up in my grand scheme to realize it at the time. I should have thought about why it tried to hide that body. Your common voidsent wouldn't have the guile to bury a kill. But what if Orcus taught it that as a way to throw trackers of its scent, or to dangle bait for me and mine? Orcus has used the same trick in the past, and he knows that we know it too. By dispatching his minion, We drew his attention. Arnegus was a warning. Orcus doesn't give his prey swift deaths. He toys with them, cuts into them, and savors with screams. That's how I knew he was responsible. It was like a signature where he leaves the bodies beneath his fill. I only pray Arnegus doesn't take that suffering with him to the next life. Orcus will be coming for you or me next. Not right away though. We'll be giving up the game. He wants us to keep looking over our shoulders, sleeping with one eye open. He'll wear us down without even lifting a finger. And then he finally strikes. We'll be dead on our feet, playthings for him to do as he pleases. That won't do. We need to bring the fight to him. No more waiting around for a lead to come to us. It won't be easy, but can I still count on your help? I've come this far, might as well go the rest of the way. Thank you, Desiree. And if you've got no qualm risking life and limb to fight for Arnegus, to fight for me, then I've got no qualm calling you a member of my family. God. Family. A curious word that... Bloody, it's him, Desiree. Orcus. Some persistent rats were nibbling at my tail. Should have known by the stench it was you and yours, Drusilla. Or should I call you... granddaughter? Shut your mouth, you tri-stamped monster! Monster? Is that any way to greet a beloved elder? Children these days. It seems one death wasn't punishment enough for you. A second should suffice for the scant remainder of your being. Desiree, we're ending this here and now. Follow my lead. I thought we might save our reunion for a while longer, but if you insist, I shall feast upon your beating heart here and now. Die! Naught but dregs left in that desiccated vessel of yours. Too long has the hide been left in the sun. But your family has been replenished with fresh blood, I see. My, and what a bounteous soul this one has. Your scythe may be dull, but your eyes are as sharp as ever. Blinding as the sun, pure as the snow. Delectable as a boar slathered in grease. I had thought to make a quick meal of you, but perhaps just this once. Forbearance is in order. Such a singular specimen must be given time to fatten, to fulfill its succulent potential. It would be a travesty to consume you ere you achieve perfection. When your soul is ripe with fear, swollen with hatred, and fit to burst with despair, I shall return for you, Desiree, and I shall gorge. Until that time, sup well, my growing whelp. Curse these old bones. He was right in front of me. I could have ended it in one swing. For a moment, just a moment, I saw it all again. My family slaughtered, lying at my feet, my life slipping away. And that was enough. Doubtless you have more than a few questions. I answer them, I promise. But now's not the time. Trust me. Standing around kicking the sand won't change what's done. Let's return to headquarters and let the wind cool our heads. Then we can consider our next course of action. The boss told me everything. That bastard Orcus is going to get what's coming to him. He thinks he knows pain? Well, he hasn't met me. It was my own fault. If I hadn't stood there slack-jawed, if I wasn't so damn slow, we'd be rid of that abomination once and for all. What you saw used to be my grandfather, but Orcus took over. He looks green enough to be my own grandchild now. Trick of a void, like as not. It is no secret that if a voidsent doesn't want to devour you, it probably wants to take possession of your flesh. But Orcus has a particular talent for it. And as he doubtless surmised, he's got an insatiable craving for ether. Killing is only a prelude to the act of gulping down your essence, like a draught of ale after a day's work. He is old. I can't say exactly how old, and he's acquired a taste for finer things. Seems his soul counts among the finest he's ever seen. Things just keep getting better for us, huh? Wouldn't be the first time someone set their sights on my soul. Is that so? Used to being a prize pig, are we? Anyway, it's clear that safety is no longer something we can take for granted. Not even in a crowded street. Not even in the middle of a day. Keep your eyes peeled and watch out for those terrible red eyes. Visiting chocobos for the moment, but I think of something and send for you as soon as I can. Until then, never sleep far from your scythe. Good. And I would end the episode here with this nice premonition. Until next time, when we continue the jobs quests for the Reaper, I'm Mace and don't get lost.